Cokers or sluices have been a fixture across Guyana for generations, used for water control in agriculture and residential areas. This one at Klein Podroin on the west bank of Demerara was built around the year 1750. That's 234 years ago. It's no longer functioning, but tells the story of how long cokers have been vital to the Guyanese economy, for which historically agriculture was the backbone. The cokers are built along the country's rivers and towards the Atlantic Ocean. Channels are dug to flush out water when there's excessive rainfall. The water flows through the coker gates, but those gates must be closed when there is a high tide to prevent water from the ocean or rivers from rushing in. The coker at Klein Podroin was built to control water for a plantation that originally harvested coffee and later sugar and corn along with other crops. This is what remains of the coker, the only remaining structure from the plantation. Coker doors are mainly made of wood and often need repairing, such as is happening at Windsor Forest on the west coast of Demerara in Region 3.
We have to do regular checks to ensure our systems are in place, so as to ensure that it functions well. And in the event we see any defect, we try to repair it as early as possible so we wouldn't have any issues, because if no coker is there, no water run out, we get flooding. If the coker damages during high tide, all the ocean and river water comes back into land, it causes flooding. So it is very, very important. We need them and we need to ensure that we have them maintained.
Some Region 3 cokers will be among the 4 to 5 that will be addressed under the US $45 million Coastal Adaptation and Resilience Project. The project is crucial because climate change has brought on rainfall the country's drainage system cannot handle, and this is compounded by the rising sea, which could further flood the coastline where most people in Guyana live and where most agriculture takes place. In addition, land use has changed over time, with the country having to cater for effective drainage of sprawling new housing areas.
Recently, we would have gotten an increase in rainfall, and those increase in rainfall would have allowed more water to be backed up or to be built up. Also, with more residential areas going up, the runoff is greater, so there's more water entering into our system, more water entering and heading towards the sluice or the cokers. So they're under a little more pressure than before.
The project to optimize the country's cokers to cater for changing realities was signed this week at the Ministry of Finance. The project is the second largest investment utilizing funds that Guyana earned for its forest climate services under the Guyana-Norway partnership through the Low Carbon Development Strategy. In designing this project, a couple of critical things were taken into consideration, such as current and future land use, population growth, and potential climate change impacts, such as heavier and more frequent rainfall. So that's why some of the cokers or sluices will see minor repairs, others will see significant rehabilitation, while others will be completely replaced. The Ministry of Agriculture will be the executing agency for the project, and the World Bank will act as partner entity, bringing their experience with social, financial and environmental safeguards.
From a World Bank standpoint, this project is being prepared at a record speed time.
The Coastal Adaptation and Resilience Project will specifically target cokers of dense populations and significant agricultural activities.
This is in line to manage our water system in the country. We have seen what has happened over the years in terms of climate change. And as a country, we are preparing our infrastructure.
The project will not only include physical infrastructure improvements, but also the development of guidelines and standards for managing flood risks in new urban developments, considering future climate change scenarios.
This Coastal Adaptation and Resilience Project is financed under the Guyana Red Plus Investment Fund, or GRIF as it is popularly known. And the GRIF has its origins in the original Low Carbon Development Strategy, which was developed under a previous People's Progressive Party government when now Vice President was then President. And under that pioneering original low carbon development strategy, Guyana articulated the very visionary, almost revolutionary concept that our standing forests were providing a valuable service to the rest of the world in the fight against climate change, and that valuable service should be remunerated.
The project is expected to be completed by the end of 2026. The project aligns with the country's broader low-carbon development strategy 2030, which aims to foster sustainable economic growth. Reporting for the newsroom, I'm Neil Marks.